Are you listening to me? You're both of you nuts.
Why do this? Why not do it?
You gotta ask yourself a question.
I'll answer your question. You want answers? You have the luxury of not knowing what I know. It's that simple.
And people are always looking for something to be recreationally outraged at.
Are we clear? Are we clear?
Who said that? Nobody, huh? Ah! That's the war face! Now let me see your war face! Ah!
I've got too much juice left! Woo!
Hey everyone, how you doing?
Oh, hey,
Man,
it's been a
it's been
while.
a month since we've gone together, right?
It's, it's already what, August?
Shoot, Christmas is going to be here in no time.
For real. I feel like I've been gone from the Bay Area forever. I went to Hawaii a month ago, and then I went to SoCal like right after that. We had a day break, but can I tell you, I'm loving the weather right now because it feels like Hawaii. A little humid.
This is gross, man. It's yuck.
I love it. I love it.
It's yuck, man. It's not like Philippines hot, but it's gonna get there.
It's what keeps your face nice and moist and wrinkle free.
That's
Are you
gross.
kidding me?
Ugh.
Humidity.
Ugh.
Have you guys been to Hawaii?
No, not yet. But
Twice.
I was actually looking at flights to go there. Actually,
Oh my
Like-
gosh.
Dude, everybody's talking about going to Hawaii. Now it's like, shoot, I gotta go to. I'm like totally behind.
Yeah. I suggest you go. It's if you want to just relax and do nothing. Because all I do, we're beach bums. We just hang out at the beach and we eat. And
Okay, so like where?
where do we eat or where do we beach bum?
Where do you beach bum at?
Oh, man, there's beaches everywhere, but we love Kailua Beach and Lanikai Beach. The sand is super fine. That's what I don't like about it. But the water is super blue and it's nice for the kids. We used to go to this beach called Ala Moana and the waves were super still. And it was good for like toddlers, kids who don't swim or just learn to swim. But now that my kids are older, they have boogie boards or they're learning how to surf or they even want to paddle board. You want to go to places where there's waves. So that's where we hang out. So if they have their boogie boards, at least they can catch some. Or they can even body surf if they wanted to.
Okay, Kailua Beach, huh?
Yeah, Kailua. But we love Lanikai. It's just a little further. It's along that same coastline. Ooh, look at that!
North or south?
Oh man,
South.
Oh, right here. Oh.
Yeah, keep going there. Yes.
are we gonna see you guys somewhere in that Google Earth picture?
You probably would. I'm in the water. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, time stands still out there, honestly. And you might have more road rage because people don't know how to enter an on-ramp. Speed up, person, speed up. But anyway.
What, they just try to shoulder you off or what?
Yeah, they just drive really slow and then everyone just kind of waits for each other. I mean, I remember when I first moved to Hawaii, literally I went to my first grocery store and then the little old lady in front, we're in a line, right? And then it's finally her turn to pay and she busts out her little coin purse and she empties it out and she starts counting. And there were pennies in there, dude. And I looked at my husband and I said, we're in a different world. This would not happen back in San Francisco. People would be like, yeah, anyway. But everyone was so patient.
You don't have any video of that?
I wish I did, but we didn't have the age. The cell phones weren't like that.
Oh, that's right.
We had point and shoots.
Wait, so what is this? You can only walk, I'm assuming you can't walk on this dark stuff.
That's way out there. And we probably wouldn't be on that side. We'd probably be more on the other side.
Oh.
Yeah. So
you know what I'm digging?
It looks like it's super close, but honestly, It's not that close.
You know what I'm digging? This house right here. This house with the solar panels.
Mm-hmm.
It has a pool, and then it
Mhm.
has this backyard. Look at that, dude.
Look at that.
Covered by trees.
That's not a cheap place to live. No, it's not
Mhm.
a cheap place. What to do? You know?
Although, what's the point of having a pool when the beach is like just right there? Just
Oh my gosh! You'd be
Parties.
surprised how many people do not know how to swim,
That's
and
me.
so the pool is more appealing than a ocean. Yeah, full of water.
Well, this beach looks small.
It is. It's more secluded. That's for sure.
Hmm.
Only so many people can go there because there's not much parking. So
Okay,
it's one of the
so
less. It can be one of the less crowded beaches.
dude, whose house is this? Wha- Whoa, what it? Oh,
I think that's a school. That looks like a track in the
That looks
backyard.
like that looks like a truck.
Hmm.
That must be a school.
that's pretty nice.
Dude.
Yes. I'm surprised it doesn't have a name by it, but you got Patty's Hula Studio here.
So,
Right.
okay, so this is. Let me zoom all the way out. Okay, so
The island of Oahu.
this is Oahu.
Yes.
Yeah,
What's that
people
mean?
say what it's funny when people I ask them about islands, and of course they say it like they know it. Of course, I don't even know it. But okay, so all I know is that it's that island, like
Yes.
from here. So
Yes.
Whatever.
Holy
So weird.
cow, is that the ocean?
Yeah,
Gosh, they look like mountains from Google Earth.
Right?
yeah. So where's the capital on this
Honolulu.
island? Right here?
It's on Oahu.
Oh, it's on here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Oahu is the gathering place.
So I've only been there,
You
then
have been.
and then I've been here.
The
This-
Big Island.
Yeah, and I was there.
What were you doing there? How old were
Wedding.
you?
There was a wedding.
And how old were you?
I don't know, like
Young?
30 something.
Oh, so it wasn't that long ago.
It was long ago. It was really long ago.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it was like it was about like more than 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So and
Yeah.
I like this place. I actually like this place. You know why? Because there's nothing on it.
Oh, that's why I don't like that place. There's nothing to do. Well,
Oh.
I take that back. I got family out there.
It was perfect for me over here, but I think I would probably live closer to the druggies, like right here in this place.
Why?
Huh? Well, because there's more civilization here, and they have the airport, and yeah.
True that. True that.
Yeah.
Anywhere except for where that volcano's at.
Oh,
Oh, so check it out. When we were there, we went to one of these volcanoes. I don't know which one it was,
right.
but it was a long drive.
It is a long drive.
It looks like
I think we went to this one somewhere over here.
The
And
one that says volcano?
yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was over here. I have no idea. But we drove this coast, and
holy cow, is that
it's
the
funny.
only
Like
road?
I think the week after we got back, it started. There was movement. It went off. So it was
Oh,
active.
wow.
Yeah, it was. I was like, oh well. Now I feel because it's funny because like you could drive up to it, and there's this parking lot, and it says don't cross this, but I did anyway, right? So it's
Of
funny.
course.
I'm like walking right, and I walk about 50 yards, and then all of a sudden I look back, and I'm like, I can't breathe so well.
Oh, you got the fumes.
So I was like, oh,
That's why
This-
they tell you not to stand over that other side.
yeah.
Hello.
But it's not so good. But that's good. So Hawaii was very relaxing, I guess. Good to see
Relaxing.
family and
Beach. I mean, I love out there. We all have kids, and we don't worry about them because we know someone's got an eye on them. And literally, if I don't have my eye on my kids, someone else does. So we all look after each other. It's something you don't. I mean, it sounds so cliche, but you don't get that out here. People don't look after your kids. Like at the park, it could be. And I'm not talking about friends either. Just talking about literally aunties and uncles who are strangers, but they're hanging out and they notice, hey, what you doing over there? Or if two kids are scrapping, they're like, hey, get off of him. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Then they get
I think it
reprimanded
depends.
by complete strangers.
I think it depends.
You think it depends how? You mean here
I
or
think
over
it
there?
depends, and I don't. Okay, look, I entirely do not mean to get to mention like some racial ethnicities. Okay,
Uh-huh.
but when I notice the people that actually don't really care are the ones. How should I say? Let's just say the ones that actually do care that I see have more of like the darker brown and the darker brown hair.
Got it.
That's just my experience. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's true for everyone. It's just my experience. But you know, when you have people that speak like a second language, and especially in my culture and you know the Filipino culture, you know,
right.
I think there's something that's more closer to family that we understand, and even if they're not even from the Asian culture,
Right.
I think they understand it too. So you know, it's just I don't know. It's just a weird thing. So I feel safer when I see them, and they actually look out, and they actually do something when something does happen.
I
Opposed
think
to,
you hit the nail on the head. It's a cultural thing, right?
yeah, opposed to if I meet someone who's just like totally entirely American that only speaks English only, and that could include people that have black hair too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
I
like,
agree.
it doesn't happen. It's not the same way.
Right.
It's entirely not the same. So, you know,
So the totally different vibe, especially out there. Everyone literally takes care of each other
yeah.
for the most part. So,
Well, that's good. So when are you going back?
oh man, you know what? My mother-in-law is here in SoCal now, so I don't know honestly. The reason why we go back is to see grandma. So,
Oh man.
actually, no, I lie. My friends are gonna celebrate their 10-year anniversary with a vow renewal next year, and we got invited. So I'm like, hey, that's our chance to go back.
Dang.
So maybe, yeah,
You take a lot of photos
tons of photos, but I don't.
with the phone or the camera or an actual camera?
Oh, with my phone. I don't carry a camera around anymore.
It's just the phone.
Yeah, I should, but I don't like carrying anything. I have a fanny pack now. Can you believe it? I never wear a fanny pack.
I have a
I
fanny
know.
pack.
I wear it, and it has my keys, cell phone, wallet, doggy bags, doggy treats. I didn't need those, but that's what I use it for now.
Hey, let me ask you guys something. Speaking of fanny packs, like when you guys wear your fanny packs, do you guys wear it on your waist or?
I wear mine around my waist, but my kids wear it around their shoulders. You know what I mean? Like a messenger bag.
Yeah.
Like around like that.
Yeah, because I was in Vegas and
Yeah.
a lot of people were doing that, and I passed by all the clothing stores, and there was like fanny packs, like, and they have it on their shoulders, like you said, like a messenger bag now too. I was like, oh shoot, is this like a new trend or something?
That's not new, dude. They've been doing that.
I don't know.
They've been
Like,
they did that in the 80s.
I've never seen that. I've seen my kid do it. That's it.
They do that in the 80s.
In the 80s, we wore it around our hips, around our waist.
No, not if you had the leather ones.
I never had a leather fanny pack.
Not if you had the leather ones.
Oh my gosh, look, it's $10.
Oh, this is the one that I have.
A Quest waist pack. Oh, it's got 4 stars.
It's okay. I mean, it's an okay pack. Actually, I might get rid of it. I haven't worn it out yet.
Why would you get rid of it?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it.
Too small or
no, it's good. It's a good fanny pack. It's not too small at all. It's actually pretty good, but I just haven't worn it yet because you know what? I resorted to something else.
What did you resort to?
I'm gonna get it here, and this is the one you wear around your body. Wait.
Oh, you got yourself a crossbody messenger?
Yeah, I did.
Those are nice.
They're okay. I'm trying to look for it, but some people, I don't know. I think they want to laugh at me, but
because it's a purse. Nah, wear it proudly, man.
No, I wear it. I don't care. So I only bought this thing because it was on sale. Let me show you.
You just buy things because they're on sale?
Yeah, this one right here.
Oh, that's
yeah.
a nice one. Looks like a camel pack.
Yeah, so I wear it across the body.
Chest, shoulder, backpack. Oh, I mean, oh,
Yeah,
backpack, fanny pack.
yeah. The thing is that you can't. Okay, so you can't put like a full size iPad in there.
No.
You can put like maybe a 7-inch screen in there, like you're gonna carry that. But yeah, this is the one that I usually wear now. So
Oh, okay.
it's not
Why don't
bad.
you just return the fanny pack then?
No, I might keep it for something else.
Yeah, sure. I can use that. I mean, just to carry like my camera batteries or SD cards or chargers,
Yeah,
just on the go.
that's really nice. Can you put a water bottle in there? I was
No,
wondering.
I mean you could, but it'll be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's really flat. So what I put in there is I put my keys, wallet, phone. I put my keys,
Yeah.
wallet, phone all in this area, and then also in that diagonal zipper, I put a very small flashlight and a knife.
Adam Sandler wrote a song, "Keys, Wallet, Phone."
What?
Look it up.
Really?
It's on YouTube. It's really funny. Never.
Yeah, I will.
Keys,
Well,
wallet.
it's Adam Sandler. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty good. But yeah, fanny packs. You might want to look into that, Jay.
Mhm.
The
And
crossbody
you
one.
can wear it across your body, like them little hipsters or like my little teenager.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I wear. Well, I just wear. Okay, so when I wear it, when I actually do I have it here? No. But when I put it on, it helps. Like if you're like on a train or in BART or in crowded areas, you could just wear it right in front of you.
Yeah.
And then when not, you just put it to your backside. But it's pretty cool. The only thing is that it depends on how you wear it. You could actually wear it left or right, but it depends on
Oh,
how
you can? You can switch it off?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't think it's meant to be, but sometimes I wear it in a different way so that my access hand would be my right hand,
Mm.
and I could just unzip it. Yeah, because if you wear it the correct way, if you wear it on your backside, then it comes around like this, and then it's just on your back. But when you sling it around, it's like it's a weird way to open. I don't know, but you'll figure it out. I mean, it's pretty cool. But anyway, about taking pictures, man. So something that has happened in the past, and something that I don't do anymore, and people kind of look at me weird and they think I'm a snob now, because
Why?
one time I was just taking pictures of a group of friends, and we're at a dinner table. I like taking pictures. I take pictures of people, food, and I'll just snap something really funny. And one of my friends, man, she scarred me for life. She said, "Hey, can I see your camera? I just want to see the pictures." I look at her, I'm like, why do I feel bad about this? So I give her my camera, and of course I continue my conversation with the person next to me. She starts deleting all the photos of her that she doesn't like, and I look at her, I'm like, "What are you doing?"
You don't do that.
She's like, "Well, it's
Nah.
to me, and these are the photos that are on my bad side, and I don't like these." And I go, "Okay." So I took the camera back, and I was
It's not about you.
I was like, "Dude." I mean, and this is something that it wasn't even a time when you post stuff on Facebook or anything. You just email them to like your friends, afterwards.
Or MySpace.
Oh, MySpace, that's right. MySpace is around. And so I've been staying, man. The last time someone asked me if they want to see my pictures, I actually take my camera and I said, come here. And they're like, huh? I'm like, no, come here. And I scroll through it. I'm using my thumb with the little rotary thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I wanted to like see it. And I'm like, no, you can see it here. And then I have to explain the story all the time. Like, no, man. So this is what happened. So
Why do you have to explain it?
Photos. I was like, that's why I don't allow anyone to hold my camera, because if they delete like a photo that I thought was pretty cool, So yeah.
Yeah. I'd be pretty mad too.
Yeah, it's like at least say, hey, can you delete these ones? They're not good. And instead, like she just straight up went into your phone and just started deleting. I was like, what the hell? No. At least ask to delete those, because now it's like, okay, you're definitely not touching my phone and you're definitely not touching my camera.
Yeah, it scarred me, dude. It really
How many
does.
photos did she delete?
All of them. No, I'm just kidding.
I know, right?
So out of like maybe 20 that I took of her, she probably deleted like 18.
She's fast.
And I'm just like, what? But there's a cool thing, I think, on Nikon where,
You can undelete it.
yeah.
Oh, undo.
Or no, there's also, it stores like a second card, and they don't know about that one. So it's like a hidden folder function or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So,
Nice.
yeah. But yeah, I just don't do that anymore. And then so don't do it, man. I advise anybody, if they ask for your camera, don't give your camera.
Oh no. I mean, because my concern first thing is like the fear of them dropping the camera. Because you'd be amazed on like just how clumsy a lot of people are, to where it's like you put something in their hand and the next thing you know it's on the ground
Right.
Yeah.
in pieces.
Ah.
Do any of you
That
have security cameras, by the way, since we're on cameras?
Yes.
You have security cameras at home?
I've got Big Brother at home. Yeah, but yeah, it's all. Yeah, I do.
Do you have ones that so you have like the full access on your phone and you can see what's
Yeah.
going on?
Pretty much.
Jay, do you have one?
You know, I don't, but I have been looking into what do they call it? The ones that are on the door. Ring, I think it's called.
I have Ring too.
Yeah, because like a buddy of mine has Ring, and this was the first time I encountered it. Like I was trying to find this house, and before I walked up to knock on the door, like the door opens, and he told me, like, and I was like, "Oh shoot, how'd you know I was here?" It's like, "Oh no, I saw you." And he pulls up his phone, and he's got the Ring app, and it showed like a few seconds ago of me walking up to the door, and then that's when he got up and opened the door, because it has a motion detector. So when someone's getting close, like the camera automatically turns on. So that's how he picked me up. But I was thinking, okay, shoot, I gotta get me one of these now.
I have Ring, but I don't have the doorbell one. What I do have is, it's called a stick up cam. I don't know why they
Stick
call
up.
Yeah,
Like,
so
pick them up.
so it's a Ring cam, but it's meant to be a second camera that you put like on the side, or like on the side of your house, like up above. So what I did was I just have mine in the front of my house, and it's overlooking like the whole street. So it's over. So if anyone like walks up from the corner, I'll see them.
Wow.
Okay.
So if they're trying to like if they're trying to access like the rear of my house, you have to go pretty much in the front. But anyone who just walks on the side, it's like, it's there. And then it has something like a 30, 35, 40 foot kind of motion detector.
Wow.
So it just automatically, of course, I actually pay the $3 a month thing. Do you?
You pay no, because ours is just what is that? Short circuit? Or I don't pay anyone to monitor. We monitor ourselves.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I got sucked into this Ring thing. I'm looking for another option though, so I don't have to pay them $3 a month. But the funny thing about Ring is that it has this little community. I don't know if you dug into your app, Jay, but you can set like a 1 mile radius or however big you want, and then people actually post things like what happens. I don't know. Have you ever looked into your app?
Oh, I've heard about that.
You know, actually, I don't have Ring, so I don't.
Oh, I thought you did.
Either.
Oh, okay.
No, it was my friend that had it, but I've been thinking about getting one though.
Well, talk to him about it. Talk to him more about it, because I'll tell you what, that is the most entertaining app that I have.
Oh.
The Ring app. I'm not kidding. People post stuff like someone walking by, like just walking on the sidewalk. Legally, they're just walking on the sidewalk. They're not on your property. They're just walking. And then they'll say, oh, look what happened. This creepy guy is walking on my street. Who is he? It's funny because the replies come in and people are saying, why don't you go ask him? You know, like if he's so creepy, you know, like, so people will actually post like something that happens. And, you know, I understand like if it's a burglary, if something's happening, but they'll actually post like some creepy guy walking on the street and he looks very suspicious. It's like, he looks very suspicious. Who is he? And then people will start replying like, Why don't you go ask them? I replied one time. I was all like, why don't you be a man and go out there and see what they want? You know, why don't you just do that? And they reply back to me, we're so scared. We don't
Really?
we don't want to we don't want to ask. I go, dude, it's
They
your
must be
neighborhood.
old.
So it's funny because they don't mark your name, they don't mark your account. They just mark your name as like neighbor number 7 or neighbor number 30. And
Are these local people like around your like literally your
yeah,
neighborhood?
yeah. I set a 1 mile radius. And so I know
Wow.
where these houses are. I see them. I'm like, oh, you're just down the street. And it's kind of cool. Like some people would like that have vests on, like people from the power company, they come up and knock on the door and they
Yeah.
don't answer. They're like, who, be careful out there. This person is like knocking on our door. And I'm like, so what? I was like, why don't you answer the door? I'm like, why don't you use your app? Because you could use your app and you could be like halfway around the world and you see them knocking. You could actually have a conversation with them with the Ring. You could actually have a conversation through your Ring camera with them and say, hey, what do you want? And they can tell you. And it's the same thing. Oh, we're scared. We don't know what to do. You know,
They must be elderly, these people you're talking to.
I haven't, well, either way, you could still use the app. You don't have to go to your door. You could, like I'm saying, you don't even have to be home, and you could still answer your door.
Gosh.
But it's really crazy. So, Jay, I will show you next time too. I'll show you some. I'll just screenshot some of the stuff. I'll send it to you. It's hilarious, man. All these things that just happen in my neighborhood, and people are like, kind of complaining about it. Like, oh, this suspicious. Oh, look at this Amazon guy. He dropped my box on my doorstep, and we're like, dude, it's in a box. It's like you drop it like 2 feet from the, from the ground, and you drop the box, which is, I think, is normal, right?
Well, not to mention like those freaking airbags and air bubbles I have to like cut through just to get to my stuff. It's like
so many air bubbles. So I don't know. I mean, so I don't, when my camera records, I get 0 notifications about it because it's not really a big deal. I mean, until like my house alarm comes off, then I'll start like looking like, okay, who's passing by my house at this hour or whatever. Joy, do you actually like get alerts and you actually like look at it, or you just kind of ignore them?
The door opens. I'm home most of the time, right? So maybe the person you should ask is my husband, because he gets every time the door opens, back door, front door, garage, there's an alert. So.
Oh, dang. Well, yeah. I mean, that's. Oh man! All I know is that the technology today, it's really cool. I really love it. But is there another like vendor you're looking for, Jay? Like another like security camera?
Shoot, not that I could think of. I just like security cameras that I can just tap into with my phone. So like you said, I could be somewhere around the world and just connect to my cameras and see what's going on, and especially the ones where you can actually talk through it. Because I remember a commercial. I can't remember what it was for, but it was like these 3 guys try to sneak into someone's house like in the dark, and the motion lights come on, and then like the lady who was like somewhere around the world getting her hair done, it was like, just, hey, can I help you guys? Yeah, we're just here to inspect the house. Like, yeah, get out. And so it's like, yeah, something like that I'm definitely looking into. But for now, I kind of have my eyes set on Ring. But I mean, I don't know. There's plenty of other like types of cameras out there that's available too. So it's just it just depends on which one works for you. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the concept of Ring, but I think I'm just gonna look for something that you have, Joy, something where it's just all contained and it's just all you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of cool that you talk to your neighbors, but is it kind of creepy that you talk to your neighbors?
Well, you don't talk to them. You just kind of message them, and they don't know who you are though. They have no idea like where you're.
They know your house, right? Or
well, that's only if you like post the footage.
Oh, I'm all like,
Yeah, that's only if you post the footage.
It's a
But
funny thing. I mean, if you're close to your neighbors, maybe you tell them I'm going on vacation. But then again, I'm like, do I really want to tell them I'm going on vacation? I don't know. And is that just like the part of me that's kind of superstitious, not superstitious, but kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Suspicious.
Suspicious.
oh
Suspicious. Gosh. So
man,
I just, I don't know. Part of me is like, not torn, that's not the right word, but part of me is very, very untrusting. How's that? I just don't trust a lot of people because they look nice on the outside, and maybe that's just me. I mean, I don't know.
well, you could always tell me if you want me to pass by
Yeah,
your
I
house.
should just let you know, right? Right? I mean, there are people that I trust, and then there are people I.
Yeah,
Anyway.
well, I have an alarm system, so it doesn't matter if I tell someone
Oh,
that I'm out
true.
of town. And then I always tell people like I have a camera that overlooks the whole street, so even if you like come up and you try to drive by, I still see you.
There's nothing in my house to steal, honestly. My TV. My prized possession would be my guitar, and
I
that's
don't
not
know.
even that much.
Those are pretty nice blackout curtains you got there.
Oh, thanks. Because I don't like to. I like to sleep with no light.
I could
No
use
light.
those. I should probably just go in there and steal them. And you'll be like, "What? You took my curtains?
Take my curtains.
you'll, be,
Yeah.
you'll be out curtains for like a whole day. You'll be like, what? I can't sleep." And then in the middle of the night, you go to Target.
No, I've got the those things.
Yeah.
Like,
So hey,
I so,
that's crazy. So hey, now that I'm like back on Facebook, right? I've been back on Facebook, and I I am running across some things that, and there's one thing that really stuck out to me. There
yeah.
was someone who I know, not he's not really a friend, but he added me, and he knows like he's friends with my wife's family, and he
Uh-huh.
added me, and I'm just kind of like reluctant. I'm like, I don't know, and so I was like, okay, fine, I'll add
Uh-huh.
him. And it's funny because I started to notice like all the stuff that he posts are just stuff that he reads online. And I think that's great. I mean, it's like, okay, well, there's really nothing original from you. So I guess I'm not going to look at what you post because it's not coming from you. Like, there's no pictures
Uh-huh.
of family. There's nothing like, oh, any news about like,
There's nothing unique about him get to know him.
right. It's just stuff that he like sees. But one thing
Okay.
that kind of stuck out, and it kind of, it just, okay, let me just begin with this. Okay. I'm not someone who entirely like gets I don't defend any president because they're the president. I only defend a president if something on like if something that they do aligns with me, then I can actually agree with them and kind of stand behind him. But I'm not going to be like, yo, this is our president, and if he does something wrong, then then I'll be like, yeah, he did something wrong.
Okay.
And I'll call it out. I'll take it issue by issue. But I'm not one of those where it's like, oh yeah, because he's Trump, I'm just going to be, I'm going to be all for him. So I just want to preface it with that, just in case anybody gets like confused. But here's
Okay.
here's the post. I'm going to read it out loud. It says, "Holy sh."
Yeah.
The current president's always making thinly veiled racist statements, but this time he actually tweeted at 4 American congresswomen of color, 3 of them who were born here. Originally came from, and it says, quote, originally came from countries and go back from which they came. Now, we had a conversation, Joy. Remember I told someone to go back to the country?
Yeah, you did.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that very clear.
Here's the thing. I can't be racist because they were Filipino.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I'm telling them to go back to the Philippines because of how they drive.
Right.
And because it's a danger for what they're doing. So yeah, I've told someone to go back to the country, and I'll do it again. I'll keep doing it. If when it's warranted.
Okay.
So I think if you tell someone to go back to your country or to go back to their country, I don't think it's a big, like in this situation, how I did it, you can't call me. you know. So anyway, and here's this, and then he goes on about how like he doesn't like about political correctness. He goes, but if someone doesn't see that as legitimately offensive, my guess is that a person has never been subjected to ethnic prejudice by a white person. Because if you have, you recognize that. So here's the thing. I look at the quote. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty powerful thing to say. I was like, what happened? So I looked it up. It says originally came from countries and go back from which they came.
So you actually went back to the source?
So I'm like, okay, so if someone if someone says that just out loud, it's like go back from which they came, like go back to your country, I'd be like, oh, well, okay, I can see some hatred, but see, I've done that before.
Okay.
so let me see what actually happened. So I actually go to the real tweet here, and I in this tweet that he has done, I haven't really seen anything here. I'm like, okay, I know it's about this tweet, and then he actually responds to his own tweet, which is really funny. You know, I don't think any president should have Twitter, dude. I really don't. But right here, it says right here, and viciously telling the people of the United States, the greatest and most powerful nation on earth, how our government is to be run. Why don't they, I think those congresswomen, go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came? Then come back and show us how. So I look at this tweet, and I look at the one underneath it, and here it is bigger. Why don't they go back and help fix the totally broken, crime-infested places from which they came? So the funny thing is, I responded back to him, and I go, "Hey, man, what's the whole quote? Because you put this ... as if it, you know, what is that?" So I put it. Yeah. I pretty much put it on his face in front of his friends, and then he actually wrote down the entire quote. And I told him, I was like, "Oh, okay, so that's the entire quote." I was like, "You didn't just pick and choose some words like out of context, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's all like, "Well, this is what he meant." I go, "How do you know what he meant?" So that almost turned into an argument, because I was just like, I just told him straight up, like, "Hey, man, you know, like, I noticed that everything that you're saying here, you know, everything that you do, everything that you post here, it's just from somewhere else, and then you just post it." I said, "That's cool and all, but it's like, I was like, if you're going to take something out of context," I go, "and you being in media," and he is, it's funny, he's in media? He's in media, so he should know, like, you know, I'm pretty sure he's taken some journalism classes, but what I don't get is how, you know, how could you actually just take something out of context like that? And then just
right.
Like, oh, go back to your country, when in fact that wasn't even said at all.
That wasn't even said at all.
So for me, it's like
he just totally took that out of context.
Totally took it out of context. But then now he's saying that, oh yeah, so if you feel that you would, you know, this is legitimate, and you would be, you know, you know, you would, this is like a legit. It's like Susan says there. Someone who, but if someone doesn't see this as legitimately offensive, like as a person has never been, so come on, dude. It's like this whole racial thing is like, I think it's just getting out of hand. And I'm not trying to defend Trump on any level.
Like he's just like, if he pointing out this guy who took someone's words and.
So my thing is, and I know this is like it's a whole subject when you start going on, you know, if Trump is racist and everything, it's a whole subject. But my thing is this: who's not racist? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, because we can go back into everyone's past and we could say, and I'm going to say it right here too. When's the last? Have you ever laughed along with someone who actually made a racial slur? You know, then I don't know about you, Jay, but have you, like, do you know people who have laughed when, you know, and I know you're Chinese and everything, but I'm pretty sure you and your boys, or you and your cousins, or whoever, and your family members, I'm pretty sure some uncle probably said something in a jokingly manner talking about a Caucasian person and said, blah, 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 guai lo.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, pretty much. Yeah, yeah. I hear it all the time. Everybody laughs about it, but like we even have some Caucasian friends too, who actually found that funny. I mean, it's like because they know, like we're just joking, and it's like, and it's just. But that was like back in the day, though. Nowadays, it's like you kind of have to like watch what you're saying too now because like it seems like everybody's gotten like or people this day and age has gotten really sensitive about it.
They got some sensory overload.
Yeah, so it's like
So, but here's the thing. Here's my point, man. It's like even in my Filipino culture, we have certain words for Caucasian people. We have certain words for
everyone.
African Americans. We have a lot of words for Chinese people.
oh, yeah, of course.
And it's funny because they say it. So here's the thing. It's like if we're going to go that far into like, oh, well, they said something racist in 19 whatever it was. I mean, gosh, I'm so guilty of it too because me and my boys, when we were back in the day, we used to call each other, "What's up, my nigga? What's up?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was everybody. They were El Salvadorian, they were Mexican, they were Korean. It didn't matter what it was. We did that as a term of endearment. And we meant that. And so now someone can go back and say, "Oh, well, that dude on his podcast, he said the word nigga." Right? He said that. So that makes him racist. I mean, it's just the comprehension of people like right now that just take it too far. I mean, to me, it's just mind blowing. It's just like, okay, if Donald Trump has ever said, and I'm pretty sure he's probably said some racial slur at least once in his life and probably thought about it. I'm pretty sure he has said that. I've done it at least 10,000 times with the people who I played sports with in high school, in middle school, and we would say horrendous things, man, about people. I don't know how many times how many conversations where I've been called gook. All right.
They called you a gook?
No, I've been called gook before. All right. And it's funny because like I stood up for that. I was like, yo, and then they would call this other Korean dude a gook, right? So we turned it into something. This was back in 6th grade. And I was like, you know what? I just want to let you know, to the Korean guy, I was like, you're not the first gook. Filipinos were the first gooks.
You said that to him?
Yeah, because that's history. Because for some reason in his culture, he thinks that, oh, you say gook, you mean Korean. No.
Oh, no.
We're the first gooks. So we turned it into a joke. People knew about it. They're like, really? I go, yeah, read your history, dude. I was in 6th grade. Now, if someone like came back and says, oh, I was deeply offended by that, I'd be like, oh, so what? You're going to call me out as racist now? Are you going to hold that against my job or something? Like because I did that when I was like a minor? Everybody, every American, I should say, has some participation in a racial slur, saying something racist, laughing with it, thinking it. Everybody's guilty of it.
Oh yeah. And what's funny too? It's like usually the people that makes a big deal out of it, like say if you said the N-word, right? And like
I'll say it again.
Yeah. It's like the person that's complaining about it or being supposedly sensitive about it is actually the person that doesn't even like you. So now they're using that as an opportunity to either get rid of you or make you look like the bad guy when everybody else in the room knows that, dude, he was just freaking kidding.
Right.
And he was just joking around, dude. You're the only one that's freaking making a big deal out of it. And so, again, like I said, it's usually because the guy has a problem with you, and that's just an opportunity for him or her to, screw you over. And
right. So, if people want to say that Donald Trump is racist, you better put me in that bucket. But here's the thing. In how I grew up in our culture and all the wrong stuff that I grew up with, I really don't have any preference on something unless it's like food. You know what I mean? Like if I meet someone and they're genuine and who they are, it doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't matter what ethnic background they are. I mean, if they're gonna be my friend, they're gonna be my friend. I don't really care, man. So it's like I don't understand how like they can call. It's like if you call someone racist, they better know what it is, what they actually say. I know that's a whole other topic about racism, but the thing is that some people like in America, I mean, of course they felt racism, and I know it exists, but the racism that my people actually felt when the Japanese came over and how they treated the Filipino people, that's racism. It's racism when a group of people by ethnicity, when they think they're so superior to the Filipino that they take babies, they throw them up in the air, and they catch them with their swords. That's racism. Okay, so for someone to think about, oh well, he called me the N-word, or they said this, or they said, you know what? They may say stuff, but the stuff that happened to my people, especially from that, and then not only that, but there's this whole racism thing that's going on in all of Asia, people versus that, Koreans don't like Japanese, right? So much. They have so many jokes about it, right? The Vietnamese don't like the Japanese and some Americans, right? I mean, it goes on and on. Thai and Burma. I mean, what, like, who's not racist? It's just a lot of stuff that no one even talks about. But I know that's a whole new thing. Anyway, speaking about racism, one of my friends, we were talking about a movie called Gran Torino. Joy? I don't think you watched that yet, right?
No, I haven't. But go ahead, enlighten me.
But Jay, you watched it, right?
Yeah. In fact, I actually got the movie poster too when I was working at the movie theaters.
Oh dang! Okay, so Gran Torino. When I watched that movie. And basically it's about, okay, I'll just give you a very brief brief thing on it. It's about this old guy who grew up, what was it? So like was he in the Vietnam War?
That was like the Korean War.
Yeah. He was in the Korean War, and he just lives on. He survived it, and he's getting old, and now his whole neighborhood is he's surrounded by a lot of Hmong people. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So, and it shows how he continues life with these people around him, and that he realized that he has something against them, but then later on realizes that he has more in common. He has more common things with them than his own family. So that's how that's pretty much the brief story about it. I had a talk with a friend of mine. I know you watched it, but I had a brief talk with a very good friend of mine. I said, and we were talking about the similar issue. I said, "Hey, did you watch the movie Gran Torino?" The most surprising thing came out of his mouth. Yeah, that movie was racist. I was like, "Did you watch the end?" He's like, "Yeah." He pulled out his hand, his finger, a gun with his hand like this.
Yeah.
Boom. I go, okay, so that's the end of the movie. It's not racist. It talks about a guy who probably was racist, but he changed his mind, right? He's like, no, that movie is entirely racist against Hmong people. And I'm like, where are you getting this, dude? Did we watch the same movie? He's like, yeah. And I was like, and Jay, I'm going to ask you, did you...
Wait. Is that what Jay thought?
No, this other guy.
That wasn't me.
No,
so your synopsis is the same synopsis as what Roy had?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
okay.
Jay, what did you think of the movie, though? I mean, do you think that's pretty accurate, or I mean, what my friend thinks?
Well, as far as racist goes, I mean, at first he seemed, it seemed like he had his reasons, because like he's just, I don't know. At first, it was kind of confused. It seems like he's like that because his family like his own family is like just a bunch of like, you know, snobs looking to get what, you know, they want and not really thinking about him. And then as far as like his treatment around like all his like Hmong neighbors, it's like, I don't know, it's just I thought it had something to do with like, you know, his time at the war that like affected his like, you know, view of like,
Mhm.
perspective of like, you know, being surrounded by all these, you know, Asian cultures, when in fact, you know, it's a Korean war that he was involved in, but he's surrounded by Hmong people. So it's like I didn't really see anything racist about it at all. I mean, unless like there was some points in there that I missed. I've only seen the movie a couple of times, you know,
A
but
couple times is enough, dude.
yeah. But it's like, but he said that that part where he pulled out the gun, he thought that that was racist, or
No. I asked him. I said, did you watch to the very end of the movie? And then he said, yeah. The guy when he pulled out the gun and then he got shot. Well, my thing was, I just can't believe that there are. And then I started to look it up because I want to know, like, maybe some people feel that way.
Uh-huh.
Well, my
Oh.
thing is like, if this movie is racist, right? Why are there Hmong people in it? Why would they want to even work on the movie?
Yeah, because like see, that's the thing too, is like, you know, I'm actually Hmong, and so a lot of
Oh,
the
dang, my bad.
You are?
no,
I screwed up.
nah, that's cool. Everybody thinks I'm Chinese too. Some people actually thought I
Oh,
was.
that's jacked up. Now, oh man.
You're
Nah.
racist.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
I'm
racist.
totally racist.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but no, yeah, no, a lot of things they did what include in the movie, like that one the shaman guy, right? That they had over at their house to bless the house. It's like, you know, that's actually something in our culture. You know, it's like when we feel like someone's sick, it's because of like, spirits and whatnot.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so it's like, yeah, that's all actually part of the culture. And
Very cultural.
and like they actually have a lot of the Hmong folks in there speak the language too, which I was very glad, because you know, I was afraid that they were just gonna have everybody speak English just because it's an American film. But like to finally hear like my own language in like a like an American film, and especially by someone well known as Clint Eastwood, like, you know, it
Right.
was actually a big honor. In fact, a lot of my friends back home, they were telling me too, it's like, you know, we just went and saw Gran Torino, and you know, most of them they were Caucasians, and you know, it was like a town full of Hmong people too. So they were so used to seeing Hmong people around, and yeah, my friends, my Caucasian friends, they came up to me and said, "Yeah, we just went and saw Gran Torino, and you know, we're really happy to finally see you guys, you know, being heard." Because that culture
Wow.
has been very, you know, hidden for a long time. I mean, a lot of people, they don't even know what Hmong people are. They assume like we're Mongolian, because it sounds short for Mongolian. But yeah, it's an interesting movie. In fact,
I thought I thought when I watched it, and Joy, when you watch this, I think you will love this movie.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
But when I saw it, I honestly thought the thing that left with me without, you know, anything preconceived, okay?
Yeah.
I thought, first of all, I was like, that was some pretty good acting. Second of all, this really honors the Hmong people. I mean, I thought there was so much honor in it that they actually did their homework, and they didn't make this too Hollywood style, you know, like it was way over Hollywooded. And they actually had real Hmong people.
Yeah, they did. In fact, you know what's interesting? I was actually gonna go and audition for it.
Really?
It was when back in 2007 or 2008. You know, my roommate, who's also Hmong, he was telling me, I was like, "Hey, Jay, they're actually having auditions like up in like Fresno." And
Dude,
so
that would have been dope, man.
yeah, I was like, but it was like at a time where I had to work and I had like summer school, so I thought, it's all right. I'll probably skip it. But after watching the movie, everybody was like, things like, dude, you could have gotten that role. Like the kid who
The main kid.
yeah, the main kid.
Oh, I want to
Yeah,
watch it now.
he was like, shoot, you got his personality, because you can be like quiet sometimes because like you're always like by yourself. Sorry that I mean I sounds like I'm sounding like a loser back then, but it's like I was like the quiet, the shy guy who never really talks much. And that's exactly who the character was. Like he was the shy guy who didn't talk too much, and Clint became kind of like this like mentor to him.
But here's the thing. Clint Eastwood, he did not have to do this movie. I mean,
he didn't have
to. If you really think about it, he did not have to do this movie. He did not have to be involved. Like if he wanted to make some real money, he didn't have to do as much. He didn't have to do as much. Mm-hmm. I thought that the writers for this film, they wanted to tell a story, and they wanted to tell what really happens in that culture. I mean, that is just some.
Sorry.
That is just some really like good. Anyway, Joe, you got to watch it.
I think I'm gonna watch it now. It's intriguing to me.
And you tell me if you felt that this movie was entirely racist against all Asian people. Like it just that movie's just. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it probably had some racist overtones, and that was the whole point, because he was someone from the. I'm just assuming at this point, because he came off a war. There's a lot of atrocities that he had experienced, and then that can transfer to any other Asian culture or to anyone who looks remotely Korean, and that's probably what they were trying to depict, right? This man who came off a war, scarred from war, living amongst the people that is totally foreign to him, and then he realizes they're not as foreign as he realizes. They're not as foreign as he thinks, that they're a lot more relatable.
Yeah,
that's the wrong word, but
the thing here is every, and I don't want to give it away, but every time that Clint Eastwood, the character that he played, every time he made like a racial comment, I laughed every single time.
Why?
It was so funny, just the way he said it, because that's how like I would actually converse with these older gentlemen who were like in that era, and we would joke about it, and just the way he said it was so fun. I mean, were you actually offended, Jay? I mean, did you get offended on some of the things like he said? Like just one thing that I'll say is we used to stack kooks this high back in the Korean War. Just the way he said that just killed me. I was just like, dang, dude, that's some hardcore like redneck stuff that people would say, dude.
I mean,
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, sorry. I mean, do I find that racist? I mean, like it just sounded like he was trying to be like this tough guy, because like because again, like he's surrounded by like a family of people who just wants to take stuff away from him, and he sounds like the kind of guy who doesn't like to be taken advantage of. So it's like to make a remark like that is just like you said, just like trying to be hardcore. And plus, he was in the army too, so the things that like they had to go through, or whether it be training or like just in the battlefield, it's like you would get that kind of like, I don't know, that kind of attitude. But it's like, I honestly didn't really find that racist. It's just, to me, I took it as like, again, just him, being a tough guy. It's like, just, don't mess with me. And most importantly, get off my lawn.
Yeah, it might have been a racist thing, but I swear every time he said it, I was just cracking up. Like when he was like screwing up on the names of like I'll just say Toad's like the girl.
Oh yeah, that's right, Toad. It's supposed to be Tao, but he says Toad.
Yeah, right. But then when he called him Toad, and even that wasn't even funny. Like he would screw up on like the girls' names, like, and Joy, there's this one where I don't know what her name is, but see, when he messes up on the name and he calls her like Yum Yum or something, like he's like, yeah. And then he called some he called like one of the I think the older ladies like Dragon Lady.
Oh gosh.
I mean, to me, I was like, oh, that's hella funny, dude. But I don't know, man. I'm just trying to.
Funny to us as Asians, maybe. You think?
I guess if you want to sit there and if you want to be offended, I guess you will be offended. But
Yeah, right?
But if you want to take the movie for face value for how it was told and the overall thing of it,
Right.
I thought it was probably one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen.
I want to watch it.
Of
I'm gonna look for it now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for it.
Well, you could stay up tonight. No, I was kidding. And watch it. It's
I
a
know.
long movie. Anyway, something on a lighter note, man, because I know we just talked about 3 heavy things, but I just want to talk about my experience because we got to close up really quick here. Hey, I was at a birthday gig. There was a birthday person. She was turning 40, and I was doing sound for the video that they were doing. So it was just a bunch of interviews. And the funny thing is, I saw the DJ, and I met him. I actually attended one of his Apple classes. So they're teaching about DJing. And I was like, oh, hey, I was at your class. He's like, oh, yeah, that was great. And the funny, check this out, man. The funny thing is they had this one main song that they wanted to play as like almost like a first dance kind of thing, right?
Okay.
It was a country song. And it's so funny because like I go to him and I'll go, hey, man, what's going on, man? You look like you're worried. He goes, hey, do you have a phone that I can like plug this audio cable into, so I could run it into the mixer so I could play this one song? And I look at him and I'm like, huh? I was like, why don't you just use your Apple phone? And he's all like, oh, well, I have an iPhone, but it doesn't have an audio jack.
What? Okay. Oh.
And I go, you mean you don't have that $9 dongle that they sell?
Oof.
And he's all like, no, and I can't. I go, well, why don't you just airdrop it or something? Why don't you just download it on your iPhone and then airdrop it to your computer? He goes, oh, I have an HP laptop. And I was like, okay, so why don't you just download it? He goes, oh, well, the internet's down and my plan, I'm having a hard time connecting to my. I go, oh, dude. So
you gave him your phone.
It's funny because I have an iPhone, and I said, well, you know what? I have an iPhone, and I can't help you. And it's funny because like that was at the time that I was transitioning from Android to iPhone. And I started carrying 2 phones just because. So because that one's still active. So I took I looked in my bag. I was like, oh, I have my Android here. So I came out. I go, what song is it? So I look it up, download it. I go, where's that jack? He goes, I got it right here. I go, boom, song's right here.
Nice.
And so he worked it. He like went in. I mic'd up his speaker, and our cameraman, they did the camera, and I wirelessly sent all the sounds to the camera from their PA system. And then boom, they played the song. And it's so funny because I was like, wow, usually in these kind of situations, Apple would usually save the day. But my Android actually saved this party, dude.
See?
It's so
not knock the Android.
Don't. Yeah. They keep they keep the audio jack, right?
Yeah.
Yep, still got my audio jack.
Still have mine. You have an Android too?
Yep.
Yep, me too.
Well, I have an iPhone.
To the dark side.
I have an iPhone because it was free, but I still have my Android and I'm still using it.
Mm-hmm.
So which one do you prefer?
What?
Which one do you prefer?
It depends.
Of course.
It depends.
You have to have your cake and eat it too, huh?
But honestly, if I had to grab a phone, Well, let me say this: the Android phone that I have is getting kind of slow.
Okay. It's not as new as your iPhone. I
It's
get
not
that.
as new, so it doesn't have the speed anymore. But I'll tell you what, this is gonna sound wrong, but
Everything you says sounds wrong.
when I go when I go to sleep, I charge my iPhone downstairs, and I bring my Android to bed with me.
Idiot.
It's, I leave the iPhone, on the couch,
That's funny.
and
Yeah.
my Android
Your
comes to
iPhone's just
bed
your
with me.
girlfriend, and
Yeah,
your Android is your wife.
right, or the other way around.
Oh, the other way around. That's wrong.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, my Android, the alarm system is better. Like how to work the alarm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's quicker. When I do like the Wi-Fi stuff, it's funny. The settings are right there, dude. It's
Yeah.
like if you want to connect to something, you kind of like do this whole swipe down, and then you're like, oh, I think I want to change
Right.
what I'm going to connect to. So you just click on that. And you're like,
Right.
it's like cool. With iPhone, you can see if you're connected or not, but then no, you can't change it from there. You got to go back out of it and then find your settings, and then go into it from settings.
See, I hate that. I hate having to go into settings. There's no point.
Yeah, because
I
there's
like
a whole
having.
bunch. Oh no, go sorry. Go ahead.
No. I just like having to swipe it down and it's there.
It's right there, right? It's right there. No questions asked. You don't have to do anything. Oh, check this out. And here's a pet peeve of mine. When I set my alarm, check this out. When I set my alarm on Android, I just click on the time and I'm already like manipulating when I want to wake up, right? On the iPhone,
Mhm.
nah, man, you got to find edit. And then you go to what you want to edit. And the cool thing about Android here, that's a lot better than iPhone, is when I set an alarm, it'll tell me how many hours and minutes before the alarm will go off. Like it'll say, you got 6 hours.
You gotta get out of my mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you got 6 hours.
6 hours.
And so, but then with iPhone, it's like you set it and you're like, oh, I gotta do math in my head.
I
Man.
know, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah. And check this out. Oh, one more thing. The reason why I take the Android to bed is because I like to watch YouTube at night before I go to sleep. Right. I like to watch YouTube. The cool thing about my Motorola phone, is that where, for example, I just have my iPhone here, but for the iPhone here, it's how like you have the ear speaker here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the sound comes out of here from the bottom.
Oh, what? Okay.
Right. So the speakers are here. So when you play it, it's from the bottom. So sometimes when I'm in a loud place, I got to do this, kind of, or like put it against like something so that the sound bounces off, because the speakers are down. The speakers are down here.
Oh, okay. I see.
But the funny thing is, on my Android, do I have an Android here? Okay, here's a sample Android. Oh, that's not an Android. Oh yeah, here's a Moto. Here's an older one.
Okay.
The Moto thing. There's no speakers on the bottom. The loudspeaker is actually right here, right where the earpiece is. So it just switches to like really, really loud, so that it becomes you could play everything through here.
Hmm.
So that's the cool thing about my Android. I don't know. To me, that's useful because when I'm looking at my screen, the sound goes directly to me.
Oh.
Opposed
Mine doesn't do
to
that.
Yeah.
if your speakers are here, then it just goes sideways.
I have a Samsung, so it's at the bottom.
Oh, well,
Here.
oh really?
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
LG. It's at the bottom too.
Oh. Well, I'll tell you what, Motorola, man. I mean, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. I mean, they definitely cut corners on Motorola phones.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, they cut the right corners. They cut the corners that you want, because, man, this thing, it's like, when the speaker is like facing you, that's golden, especially for little kids, man. It's like you gotta situate like your phone. You got your freaking iPhone here, and then you gotta put like, and it's funny. It's funny. You gotta put your phone here, and then you have like, you're a Chinese restaurant,
Yeah.
right? And then you have your cup, right? And you gotta put your teacup like on right where the speaker is, so that it bounces forward.
Interesting, you guys.
You got to do that.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I like the way how iPhone is set up, especially when I use it for music. I like the way it's set up. But man, not having an audio jack that's bad, dude.
Because everything's Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I'm not Bluetooth. I'm still wired.
Oh, you're not
Yeah,
Bluetooth at all?
I don't have a Bluetooth. All my boys have Bluetooth.
Oh,
Just
dang.
haven't graduated yet.
Jay, do you have Bluetooth?
Yeah, I got Bluetooth, but you know what? I still would like an audio jack just because you never know when you're gonna need to plug in an earphone. Or for me, I've been using my phone as a recorder to connect to like those little lavalier mics.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I see.
Yeah, so it's like there's some advantages and there's still some uses for that headphone jack. But I see where Apple's trying to go with it because, like, I guess without the headphone jack, like the thinner it can be.
Yeah. Well, they get more battery space. I guess it's just all useful or something.
Yeah.
So, but I'll tell you what, man. My Android saved that party. I should actually call like Moto or Motorola and say that I saved this party, dude, and Apple didn't. They could turn that into a commercial, dude. I'll take my $20,000 check.
Yes, please. You mean our
Doesn't this remind you
$20,000
of
check?
Love Line?
What? Say it again.
Love Lines. KMEL.
Oh yeah, it does. That was a long time ago. With Rosary, I always wondered what she looked like.
I'm showing my age.
I always wondered what Rosary looked like, dude. Every time she got on the mic, I was like, oh man, dude.
What does she look like? I should look her up.
I don't know. I don't even
What's
know.
Rosary's last name?
I don't know. What is it?
I just look up Rosary KMEL. I'm sure she'll show up.
I don't even know, dude. Let me look. Okay, well, there's some pictures, but they look really old, man. There's one of her in like Easy E.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Yeah, I don't even know who's who. There's like a bunch of people in there. But anyway, yeah, that's all that we have for the show, man. I'm just, man, this thing like really took something out of me.
Okay.
I will not. I don't think I want
racist.
to talk about racist anymore, dude. No racism. And plus, I have to watch what I say. So anything that racist that I say, I have to bleep out, man. Because like you know what, some can like look it up. You know, if I'm trying to find a job and they'll be like, oh, that's racist.
They probably could.
But see,
That's the
I don't
sad
know.
part.
I don't know why we should live in fear. Because like that's.
But they
you know,
wouldn't understand. I mean, we're having an honest discussion about racism.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And they just take something and do a soundbite and say, "You racist, Roy."
He said that. So what? People say
They're gonna
lots
take
of
that right there.
freedom of speech.
Joy said that Roy was racist.
even like his own co-host said he was racist.
Like racist? No, we weren't talking about racist. We were talking about races around the world.
Racist.
But
Good save. Good save.
man, dude, I would like to show. It's so funny, man. I wanted to pin that guy on and be like, yeah. How many times have you ever said, you know? But you know, I guess I'm not gonna do that. But you know, he's a friend of the family, so I can't be too mean to him.
He's a friend of the family. He's gonna be scared of you.
Well, no, he's a friend of the
Next
other
Christmas.
family. He's not a friend of my family. My family was totally different. It's not my blood family. He's, you know, through the whole married side, man.
Got it.
And you know what, Jay?
Still family.
I am so sorry for calling you Chinese, dude. That's messed. Now that is racist.
You
No,
messed up.
That is entirely racist, dude.
Like, come on, man. How long have we known each other?
I know, but you never talked about it, dude. You never talked about Hmong food. You never said anything.
Well, that was
No,
already on
what's
the
Hmong
subject.
food?
Oh,
What
we gotta
is
start
that?
talking about food. We have to have like a food segment next time.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be awesome. Because, hey, I always talk about traveling the world and trying different foods from different cultures. That's always fun.
Yeah.
Man, can you imagine that? Getting paid to travel around the world just to eat food, like those guys
yeah.
on the food channel.
I wish I was one of them. That'd be like my dream job.
Yes. Oh man.
But I don't want to eat beetles. One day they're
You
gonna
want
say,
that $1 million checks? Eat that beetle.
you're gonna have to do a segment on beetles. No.
Joy, if you took that job, you can only do that probably for 2 weeks straight. Two weeks at a time, because the other 2 weeks of the month you'd probably be working out. Your people like, no man, I'm not gonna put this on, dude. No. Only this and that.
I work out every day.
And then on the itinerary it'll be like, yo, we're going to Italy, yo. We're going to Italy. Yeah. We ain't eating that kind of pasta. We're not eating that bread. We're not eating. Like, no. So Italy's off.
Vegan? No, just kidding.
Italy is off. Maybe France might be out too.
Nah, you know what? If I got that job, I would eat whatever they want except for bugs.
Oh, I can't do snails. Escargot, I can't do that.
But they said it tastes like butter and garlic.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if they don't prepare it right, then shoot, you could be like infested with parasites.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm good.
You eat sushi, you're infested with parasites.
Yeah, but true. But still.
I'd rather eat sushi than a snail.
Yeah.
I drink snake blood.
What?
And did you get all hot?
Yeah, I did. I started feeling, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No way.
Broke a sweat.
Really?
Yeah. It was. They just cut the snake, and it came out, and they put a little bit of some type of vodka, and then I drink it. Yeah.
And was it worth it?
Yeah, I got influenced. So. Oh, our track ended. We're overboard. All right, that's all I have. Hey, thanks Jay for being on. We'll see you again soon. And I'm Roy.
And I'm Joy, and this is Cins Radio.